Welcome back. A day after the United States of America announced the death of the most wanted man in the world, Osama bin Laden, there have now been reactions from the state. Tamil Nadu's Chief Minister M. Karunanidhi has said that those who live violently will die violently. He added that this terrorist's life was in fact a lesson that those who live by the sword will die by the sword. He added that many try to label Osama's terrorism as Islamic terrorism, but we cannot accept it. Moving on, the Reserve Bank of India today increased the policy rates to rein in increasing inflation. The repo rate at which the RBI provides credit to banks has been hiked by 50 basis points. The reverse repo rate, which from now onwards will be 100 basis points below the repo rate, as a rule, has also gone up by 0.5 percentage points to 6.25%. This is the ninth hike since March 2010 and will certainly push interest rates upwards, making loans costlier. A hike in policy rates forces banks to increase rates, which make auto, home and other loans much expensive. Now, in a little over a week, results of the much-awaited April 13th Assembly elections would be out, bringing to end a month-long vigil over the ballot papers. NDTV Hindu decided to do a quick recce of 3 counting locations in Chennai to give you an idea of how both the security personnel and also the party workers are guarding these centers. Here's a special report. Security guards work in 3 8-hour shifts beginning at 6 a.m., 2 p.m. and 10 p.m. But that's not all. Even the agents of candidates work in shifts at these centers. They periodically check if the double locks on the strong rooms remain intact. After all, the entire city's, that's all the 16 constituencies' choice of votes are stored in these 3 counting locations.
At a time, one AC, 3 inspectors, 6 others, 48 other ranks. SI, constable, constable. அவங்கெல்லாம் outer periphery, outermost periphery. இந்த காலேஜ் சுற்றி 22 இடங்களில் பீட் இருக்குது. ஒரு இடத்துல 2 பேர் போலீஸ் பீட் இருப்பாங்க. அது இல்லாமல் நம்ம கார்பரேஷன்லேருந்து கார்பரேஷன்லேருந்து அவங்களும் ஒரு ஸ்டாஃபுக்கு கொடுக்குறாங்க. டெப்டி தாசில்தார் ரேங்க்கு அவர் ரவுண்ட் தக்கில் கூட இருக்கிறாரு. இப்போ ஃபயர் சர்வீஸ் வந்து 2 இடங்கள் இருக்குது. முன்னாடி ஒரு ஃபயர் சர்வீஸ் இருக்குது, பின்னாடி ஒரு ஃபயர் சர்வீஸ் இருக்குது.
Everything works in precision. Twice a day, the returning officers carry out inspections. They then send a daily report to the district election officer. At any given time, there are nearly 100 security personnel guarding the strong rooms, which are sealed tight.
Returning officers' concerns are supposed to inspect a minimum 2 times per day regarding the security arrangements provided in this center. Police is giving 3-tier cordoning system security arrangements. Apart from them, the strong room is guarded by the CPMF personnel. And also web camera is provided 24 hours that is recording all the happenings near the strong room. Apart from that, the candidates' agents can monitor or can see what is happening in 24 hours by appointing the representatives.
Except for 2 sporadic instances of accidental firing at Shankagiri and Kadalo, the 94 counting locations have maintained peace thanks to the arrangement of the Election Commission. 27 paramilitary companies are scattered across these locations.
There are only 9 days left for the counting of votes. For the first time in the history of Tamil Nadu, the electorate is made to wait for 1 month to know the results. The 3-tier security arrangement at the counting centers and the permission granted to the agents of the candidates to oversee the counting centers have given a lot of hope about the system in place. In Chennai, Peer Mohammed, NDTV Hindu.
Moving on to some crime news from the city. A man who is known to be working at a printing press allegedly set his wife and teenage son on fire in the early hours of this morning at their house in Adyar, after which both succumbed to their injuries at the KMC hospital in the city. The deceased woman had handed over a dying declaration that her husband had in fact set her on fire. The police in the region have registered a murder case as the accused is still on the run. In fact, 3 special police teams have been formed for this operation. Now, tomorrow starts the dreaded few sunny days in Chennai's city known as the Agni Nakshatram. Traditionally, it is the time when ideally your grandmother tells you to avoid going out during the daytime. Also called Katiri Veil, the 3-week period is considered to be the hottest phase in summer, since during this period the sun's rays fall directly on the earth. This means there will be more heat concentration and the radiation levels will be at the maximum. In a humid city like Chennai, it can drain one's energy levels quite fast. That can cause dehydration. So do make sure that you do avoid being out in the sun between 12 and 2:30 in the afternoon, and have plenty of fluids. If you must venture out, make sure you do take out those protective sunglasses, sunscreen lotion, or even carry an umbrella, whichever suits you best. This will last, in fact, till the 21st of May this year. In some international news, Pakistan is now facing tough questions from Washington on how Osama bin Laden managed to stay in Pakistan without the knowledge of anyone in the establishment, as Islamabad continues to claim that it had no knowledge of Osama staying in a well-fortified mansion in the country's garrison town of Abbottabad, a short distance from the military academy. The United States is now doing some plain speak. At a press briefing, the counter-terrorism advisor to President Barack Obama said it was not possible that Osama could have stayed in Pakistan without a support system, and that's what the United States is now trying to find out from the Pakistani government. Up ahead on the bulletin, after the big disappointment from the IPL 4 auctions, Dada is back but sporting a different colour and batting for a different city.